Hello and welcome to another episode of the Theo Keeps Talking podcast, where you may laugh or you may learn, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. My name is Theo, and the most important question of the day: how are you all doing? Last episode, I nerded out about superheroes and all their pros and cons, and I had a ton of fun. So check that out when you get a chance. Today, I have a very special guest on, one of the very first friends that I made in college. It's been a pleasure watching him grow and develop into the person he is today. I'm a huge fan of everything he's doing. Mr. John Joe is with me today. John, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody?
Mm. Oh, this will be great. For the recommendations section today, as far as music goes, I said that last week it had been like 3 weeks since the previous episode and the one before that. So I had some time to figure out what I wanted to listen to. This week I kind of found some stuff. Hit Different by Ty Dolla Sign featuring SZA. It's a little older, it's like a year old, but it was hitting different this week. Focus by Her, All Stops by Lance Skywalker, Clutch by Coltrane featuring Kiana Lede round out the music recommendations for the week. Shows, not much. I really have not watched much TV wise. It's only been a week, like I said, since the last episode. I've watched literally My Hero Academia literally every Friday or Saturday, whichever day that comes out. And I've been watching a lot of Formula One and a lot of basketball since like the playoffs are going to be starting pretty soon. But enough about that. Enough about what's going on. Let's get right to the fun here. He is an unbelievably cute young man, active athlete. He's an anime lover. He hits mid-range jump shots like I've never seen before. He's a businessman, so he's a man after my own heart. John, take it away.
Hey, first of all, I would like to say thank you for having me on your podcast. Um, so yeah, I kind of took your approach with everything, and wanted to give also sort of my music, my show recommendation, sort of what I'm catching up on these days. So for your audiences who have a little bit of a broader taste in music, I definitely recommend listening to Porter Robinson's new album, the Nurture album. It's EDM, but it's like it has like a soft anime twing to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some of the piano, kind of takes you away to like almost like a spirit. If you ever watch Spirited Away, it kind of gives you that another worldly feeling. So I definitely check it out. There's a you might like this, Theo, but there's an artist that I listen to who's from the DMV area. If you guys don't know what DMV, it's like that it's like Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia area. His name is Uzuhan, Uzuhan. He just came out with a song called Immaculate. Pretty deep lyrics in it, but it's fire. It's a banger for sure. And then we got a Korean artist here. His name is PH1, and he came out with a song not too long ago, like I listened 2 weeks ago, called 365 and 7. So take a listen. You know, if you want to look into the Korean hip hop, you got there. You got local artist right there, and then you got the EDM. So kind of rounding out my music. In terms of shows, so yeah, I mean, kind of like you, I haven't been watching too much TV, but sort of like a foreshadowing of how this whole podcast and episode is going to be. I wanted to give some anime recommendations that I've been kind of all around, but listening to, watching, getting up to speed with. So, Theo, I don't know if you've watched it, but Mugen Train, the Demon Slayer movie, definitely is a must see if you're caught up in the anime world. And then for myself, I kind of just wanted to revisit the Marvel universe a little bit. You know, it's been a little bit of time since they came out with anything, in terms of movies. So I just caught up with some of the movies, but The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's on Disney Plus, highly recommend. Highly recommend. So that's it. Those are kind of a little bit my things. And and I forgot one more. If you are a coffee lover, which I am, definitely recommend checking out His name is James Hoffman on YouTube. Great guy. Awesome channel. So
Nice. Well, first thing I want to add, the DMV, the D part, that's DC. Just putting that out
oh
there. I was like, you were so close. You're so close. But there actually is like a region. It's called Delmarva, and that's for Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. But that's like on the eastern part of the states, like you know where like Wilmington is, and how Wilmington's like really close
yes.
to Philly. So
Yes.
if you were to actually drive in a straight line, like down from Wilmington, you actually hit Maryland again because
Okay.
it kind of like hits on that side. So like that area over there where it's like touching the Atlantic Ocean, that's called Delmarva. And then DC, like literally right where DC is, like it kind of gets sandwiched between Maryland and Virginia. That's the DMV. So
Oh, yes,
now you
yes.
know.
Okay. Okay. I thought, okay, knew it. I just didn't know that in the moment. Thank you.
Hey, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So wonderful set of recommendations, very unique. I'm looking forward to checking some of those out. You passed along the what was it, a K-pop song to me a little while ago? Like I really liked it. I don't even remember the name of it, but I remember liking it.
Hey, hey, if you are into K-pop, if you want to explore different types of music, let me know. In the Korean world, man, I got you. I got you.
So for those who've never even seen John before, which is going to be virtually impossible, John is a wonderful Korean man, very handsome, very intelligent, very tall. You know what I'm saying? Love him. But first we got to get to the origin story because
Yes,
every anime lead up needs a really good origin story.
of
So,
course.
uh, my perspective of how I've met John, because even though like near like the end of like our Drexel time at Drexel together, like we saw each other in passing more than we did like when we would plan it, but we always knew where we where we could find each other. But we hung out primarily where we first met, and that was in the gym. And I remember it was one night, I don't even think the term had started yet. I think it was welcome week or around that time. It's like 10 at night or something like that. The gym's practically wide open. I'm on the basketball courts pretending like I'm good. And John's over here with one of his friends, or I don't know if you're friends, but like now, but you were with like one of your guys, and you were like doing drills. Like I'm like, you're doing drills. You're supposed to hang out. Like there's like 5 total people on the court, and you're doing drills at 10 p.m. I'm like, this dude's very, very dedicated. And I remember you had asked me, from my perspective, you had asked me, do you want to do these with us? And I was like, sure. Like might as well learn how to get better from someone who seems like really dedicated to doing so. But you texted me and you said it was a little different from your perspective. I forgot about this part, but you might as well take it away from here.
Yeah, so I think it was welcoming. I think it was like the reason why the gym was so open was because like everybody was, first of all, none of the upperclassmen were on campus technically like around that
Right.
time because it was before the term. And I think it was like, yeah, one of the last few nights of our welcome week. And yeah, it was like 9, 10. It was sometime late. And yeah, he was like my hallmate friend. His name is Nick. He and me were like, we didn't want to go to any of the events. And we're like, yo, just want to shoot around, do some drills. And we're like, sure. So you go to the gym and we're doing some drills. And again, you're right. There's like 5 people. It's a big gym and there's only 5 people. So literally everybody has their own net pretty much. Like practically they have their own net playing and shooting around. And me and Nick, right, we grabbed one of the nets out there and then we're just shooting. We're doing like, I think we're just kind of going elbow to elbow, doing jumpers and then like rebounding and passing each other, going back and forth until we make a certain amount. And then I see your cute face like on one of the adjacent nets to me, right? And then you just come up to me, be like, "Yo, like, I really." It's so also it's towards the end of our drill because I was like breathing so hard, and I remember you came up to me like, "Yo, like, I really respect your grind out here," and I was like, "Yo, that's so cool. What's your name?" And like in my head, I was like, I never like realized that I was doing something like interesting. It was just like me just shooting around, honestly. And then you come up to me like, hey, like I really respect the grind. I was like, no, I like you. What's your name, man? And then that's the that's how I remember it. And then we just exchanged numbers. I think in freshman year, I literally like I even with people I'd never follow up with, I just got everybody's name and number just because you're always trying to, meet new people in freshman year. But yeah, that was how I remembered our origin story.
It's so funny because freshman year, like you were saying, you just get like everyone's number. Like I feel as though in the neighborhood of like 30 to 35% of like the phone numbers and like social media contacts I acquired from like my 5 years of college all came from freshman year. And I don't really talk to those people because you're just like, I want to meet this person, this person, this person, this person. And then finally, when like classes actually start, you don't even talk to them anymore. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
especially when co-op happens, now it's like a definitive like line in the sand. You almost exclusively hang out with people who are the same cycle as you. You know what I mean? But it was just funny because I didn't know, even like going into it, that when I would say hi to you and everything like that, not only like
hmm
even just getting to this point, but the fact that you were even the same major as me, like, and you were in the same like you were in LeBeau with me, because so many people I
yeah,
met were like engineering or arts and whatever, but you were LeBeau,
yeah.
and like that worked out really well, you know?
Well, technically, we did go to an engineering-based school. You,
Yeah.
accordingly, it was pretty cool though. Yeah, I like. I often think about like, man, like this guy, how like just out of the blue, just really complimented me, and this is how we started our beautiful relationship. Theo, like that's on you. That's on you.
I mean, and that's the funny thing because you said I came up to you, but to me, you asked in my head, you asked me. So I mean, it just works out, you know. Um, but we might as well like start for anyone who's listening or whatever the case may be, all the way to the back, right? I've
Yeah.
asked you this, but I forget now because like
Mm-hmm.
once you meet someone as like a freshman, you don't really talk about anything that happened before freshman year anymore. You just talk about what is currently happening. So
Yeah.
just remind me, what led you with your smart, cute face to go to Drexel?
Yeah. So I mean, like many people, I think prospecting colleges is a lot about fit, a lot about location, and a lot about, do I see myself excelling in this college, university, right? And I'm from the Philadelphia area. Like I'm from the suburbs of Philly. I've grown up all my life there, and I've always heard of Drexel. And I think something that, I mean, for your listeners who also maybe in college and thinking about career steps too, something that was so important to me was like being able to use college as a stepping stone to the next stage of my life, right? Like it's not supposed, I mean, a lot of times it is supposed to be 4 years, 5 years of enjoyable growth of your life, but it's also supposed to be, yeah, like that next career. How do you get to point A to point B, and that in college being the in between? And so, yeah, for me, it was really obvious, I think, where a lot of colleges offer great opportunities. I think Drexel gave me the best opportunity in the sense of like the co-op program giving you that connection of, hey, like we'll take you from a student to a corporate or into the real world for 6 months. And then you'll get a taste of what is actually like there and in those industries. And yeah, take you from that college student into, like yourself, an accountant, an analyst like myself. So that's really what led me. And it's just like that visioning of like, this is not really supposed to be um, wasted 4 years, but a time of 4 years where I can take the opportunity to grow. And Drexel just felt like the best opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you I always felt like when you were telling me about that story, that it's always really interesting seeing when you go to a certain school, when you run into people from all over the place, that you get like a different sense of purpose from different people. And I knew you were really like career focused, like how I was when we first started talking and everything. It just surprised me that someone close would go to Drexel because I was like, okay, I'm not going to any of my local schools. That was my determination. So like, I want to get away from home, and Drexel was like that stepping stone, like you said, like to develop a professional career. But I was like, this dude's a little too qualified for this school. Like when I was talking to you, I was like, why you stayed?
And
But like, you know,
yeah, yeah, it's interesting that you say that because, like, honestly, it wasn't like I came to college being goal oriented, honestly. So for me, like, I grew up playing baseball, and I honestly thought, like, at, I don't know, freshman year of high school to sophomore year of high school, I was like, I'm gonna go. It was wild to think at the time. I must have been like some dream world, but like I really thought I was gonna make it to D1 school for baseball, right? And I was like, oh, baseball, 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 baseball. But then, yeah, like, and then like, I was like, I don't really have to focus on grades because I'm gonna be in D1. I'm gonna get a scholarship. I'm gonna get a full ride for baseball. But yeah, like once I realized, like I don't think I'm gonna make it to baseball, somewhere in between junior year, between sophomore and junior year, I was like, you know what, I gotta start focusing on grades, and that's when like the switch turned and started grinding. And Drexel was like a great fit because it's just again like you're taking those 4 or 5 years and you're taking it to the next level where you're having an opportunity to actually meet and network yourself. So yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And on top of that, like you were spring summer? Were you spring summer?
I was fall winter.
You were fall winter.
I was in the depressing busy seasons of certain companies, man. It was the best and worst of times.
Yeah. Fall winter
I'm sh-
was
it bothered me so much how chill summer summers are for companies, right? Like it's everyone's on vacation, everyone's just like not as serious, and I mean for most companies it's just the middle of the year, so it's not like the busiest
yeah.
part. So they're just chilling too, and I'm like, damn,
I mean,
only if only.
I couldn't even imagine like these sheer like freedom of you work at a co-op, you're like 20, 21 years old, your co-op's in Center City and you have sips. Like that's a dream.
Right,
Like in the middle of the
right.
week, everyone's like, yeah, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like that is absurd. Versus for you and me, middle of the week
This, yeah.
is like horrible. I mean, it's like 30 degrees outside. You don't even want to go get food because like the wind will blow you back into the front door. It's just a mess. Like,
And the sun goes out at like 4 in the
yeah.
winter. Like it's sad. It's a sad time sometimes there.
This is already the latest in the year I've ever worked because
Yeah.
I started in January, which is like
Mm,
usual for me. Like me working in January is nothing. But me
mm.
working in May, I'm like, what is going on? The sun is out. The sun's up when I'm like clocking out. I'm like, what is this? It's such a
It feels
different,
good.
yeah.
Feels good. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd rather have it that way though. Like have it
Mm.
so that when I know this is only for 6 months, that I get the really sad 6 months because it'll at least temper my expectations for work. Like I couldn't imagine like having fall winter, like having spring summer work and getting out like early on Fridays and if you're in Philly early on Wednesdays and then going into like a full-time job full blown in the winter and it's like, oh by the way, you're still in here and you might have like had to walk through like a couple inches of snow on your way in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really rude awakening versus like the pleasant surprise of, oh, it's warm. You can like enjoy your
Yeah.
life when you clock out.
On Yeah, I was gonna just say, like, honestly too, just I don't know if it's a mood thing either, but like everyone in the office just seems a little bit more friendlier in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Like they want to reach out and do a little bit more of a taking you out on a lunch or going out for drinks after work, rather than in the winter where everyone's like, "F this, I'm out, I'm going home."
No doubt. But hey, we made it. We made it to this point. Um One thing like I was just thinking about like the classes we were
Mm,
in together. Like I barely remember. All I remember is the very first class we were in together, which may not even be true. Like, I just remember from my end, we were in accounting 115 together and we were suffering.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and then the very
Me
last
too.
class I remember was like, we were in that university B201 class, and you were, you showed up for like day one. And I think you had to like keep working or something. Like it was funny because that was one of my favorite classes I've ever had. And you were in it, but you didn't show up. And it was so sad.
You know, okay, first of all, for the accounting class, I am astounded that you are working in accounting, because I don't know how you take that class and be like, yeah, I want to make a career out of this. So all the props to you, Theo. That's another animal. It's a different beast in the finance and in accounting world, right? But honestly, dude, I don't even remember the University 201. Like, I'm like trying to think, and I'm just, man, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'm pretty sure you only showed up for the very first class, but it was only 10 classes. Like it was only on Tuesdays. It was only for 50 minutes. Like it was the most chill class I've ever had in my life.
Dude, I don't. It's
So
beyond me.
I mean,
But
I
I
had
do.
it's
It's
whatever.
crazy because we did have a lot of it. We had overlapping classes, just never together. Like we would have the same classes, just different professors, different
Mhm.
times. So that was pretty cool too. Just being able to have you as like, we can go with each other if we have questions about certain things. You know?
Yeah. I remember that being the case too. Like you would have the same class. We just weren't together. I do remember that actually.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I think that
It's
happened with like a few finance classes too. Like there was like
it did.
I know
It
there was at least one or two that you were like, I have an exam in this class. I'm like, yeah, so do I. And you were like, it's on Thursday. I'm like, yeah, it's on Thursday. And I'm like, but what class is it? And I'm like, why are we not in the same class?
I
It
know. I
happened a
know. It's
lot.
crazy. It does. I was like, yo, like if I only had my boy in my class, oh,
Right.
it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
But you would also see like how much of a slacker student I was. So like I'm glad you
Oh
kind of weren't in my
gosh,
classes.
yeah. Don't worry, you'll see, dude. I would, man, I would, I'll be out, like mentally, just be out. Like, cause if something's like, I don't know, Drexel has this thing where it's like sometimes you would have a 4 hour class. Like it's like physically impossible for a person to stay attentive for all 4 hours. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah,
But you
it's
know what?
brutal.
We've done it. We've done it. And here we are.
We made it on the other side. So one of the things we also wanted to talk about, and I alluded to earlier, like we've really bonded over basketball and just in general playing. Because truthfully, like Drexel's courts are really nice. Like the gym courts are like really nice. The basketballs they use are also very, very nice. So I can never take that for granted. But it felt like that's all I did freshman year. Like just play. Like nothing else mattered. Just
Yeah.
vibes and play. My freshman year classes weren't even hard. So quite literally I would just play all day long. Um, but just from your perspective, you're like just overall interest in basketball. I think you mentioned you played at high school and just all of that. Just take it away.
Yeah. So, dude, it's crazy because like quarantine has really, like the whole pandemic has made me really appreciate indoor, how lucky we were to have indoor courts that we had access to, like pretty much anytime we wanted to, and like being able to shoot in a controlled environment where wind and like nothing was like externally factoring into how our balls were going to go into a net. It's beautiful how indoor basketball is. That being said, yes, we had amazing courts at Drexel. We could rent out Evo balls, so the consistency of like, man, just having a shot go in was amazing. And you're right, like freshman year, we played, dude. Like I think back to those times when we were like 18, 19. It sounds crazy because we're not even that old, but just to think like we could play 3, 4 hours on the courts and the next day do it all over again. I don't know why. It's just like I can't do that as well now. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, no
Um,
way.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, for me, basketball has always So basketball for me was more of like growing up. I grew up. I have a baseball background, and so for me, basketball being a winter sport in high school, middle school, was actually not even a sport that I thought I wanted to take seriously. It was more of like a sport that would keep me conditioned in the winter so that by the time baseball season rolled around in the spring, I was able to, not have to work as hard to get back in shape for spring training or any type of like training in the springs for workouts. So it was actually that's how it started. So my dad was like, "Hey, you're just going to be running around and you should have seen it. Like you call me a mid-range shooter now, but back in the day, I was like a Dennis Rodman. I could not shoot the ball. I only knew how to grab rebounds, and I could not dribble for my life because I was just bad. So I just got rebounds, passed it to the nearest guy who could dribble, and then that's kind of how it went. Set picks. God, I would not shoot any mid-range shots back then. So that's kind of how it started. And then over time, going from middle school to high school, I loved how fast paced it was. It's like baseball can be a little bit boring in the sense of it's always reactive in a lot of ways and situational, uh, based on how like a batter hits the ball. So thinking right, and it's a reaction in terms of like, okay, what are you gonna do in this situation, in that situation, and it's great. It's a great sport, but I felt like basketball where because things were constantly moving, whether you're setting a screen, whether you're dribbling, whether you're going off ball, it felt like it felt alive, I felt alive in a lot of ways where I was like, okay, this is so much more fun. Like I'm gassed. Like I'm not telling you, I'm gassed at a lot of times, but it was so much more enjoyable of a feeling when you did win, right? Like sweating, running back and forth, and then winning a game was crazy fun for me. And so that kind of became why I wanted to practice. And you saw me practicing that, freshman year where I was just shooting jump shots. I just wanted to get better. And I'm not like amazing or anything in basketball now. It's just, um, yeah, it just became like once you see that first jump shot go in, you're like, "Yeah, they can't guard me or something like that. And then you just keep on going. So yeah, that's kind of the drive for my passion coming from. And then, yeah, I mean, I would say this, not that you would know this, Theo, because you're not from Philadelphia, and neither are you Korean, but there is a pretty good like Philadelphia Korean basketball community here. Like everyone who plays ball who's like kind of decent in the Philadelphia area kind of know each other. They kind of hurt each other. It's actually interesting. Because I would meet a lot of people through that and like play with older people, play with high schoolers who are like up and coming, and like almost have a lot of pride knowing that like I was a Korean American in the Philadelphia area playing ball and like being able to represent a certain community in my life. So that's basketball for me.
That's so interesting because like you were one of the best, like you were like the most consistent like jump shooters I remember from like I don't know, from like sophomore year on. Because I remember there were so many times where we would play each other. Like I don't know how many times we did end up playing each other. But I remember every single time there was like a loose ball on an offensive rebound and you would get it in the mid range and I would just start screaming at whoever was nearest to you. I would literally scream at them because I'm like, there's only one thing he's going to do. If it's the mid range, he's going to make it. How dare you leave him open? I would be so mad at them, like just all the time because we played each other a lot. It felt like
Yeah,
a ton of the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
swear every time we would play, we just like looked at each other and we're like, oh yeah, yeah, we're definitely looking. We're gonna definitely guard each other today. It's happening.
oh yeah. I think one of the interesting things that's like about pickup is you know it's like the most beautifully frustrating thing because when like the good players show up that whatever's happening over there ceases to become your business. It's like I'm not trying to get in a fight today. I'm not trying to get dunked on today. And what's the point in losing like 13-2? You know what I mean? But when it's like just a normal day, it's like the opposite. It's like the most frustrating chaos ever because some people don't know what they're doing. Like you never know who you're
Yeah,
gonna get when you're playing out there. So you have some guys who like can't shoot, but they know how to play defense. But like being good on defense doesn't really matter in pickup. It gets weird. Like because it's so open because everyone understands what spacing is, but no one really knows what cutting is at the same time. It's like everyone's saying at the 3-point line, okay, but no one also wants to like set a screen but dive on the screen. They don't want to roll on the screen. They just want to pop on the screen. I'm like, we don't get anything out of this if you just do that. And also, most people aren't good shooters. They just think they're good shooters too.
Yeah, yeah, it's the way that I would describe Drexel pickup basketball is if you think about what the Golden State Warriors are, let's say like 2015 to 2017 when, when they were like dominant in the NBA.
Yeah.
Imagine a 30,000 lesser times version of that. And that's Drexel rec basketball. Just pick up basketball, right? Like everyone's shooting threes. Like they are Steph Curry or Klay Thompson or KD, right? And then on top of that, everyone just ends up like chucking up a bunch of shots. There is some pick and rolls, but mainly pick and pops, like you said, and the pick and pops are pretty atrocious shots, even if I have to say to myself. And then it becomes a game of transitions in a lot of ways because so many threes are so short and they go back to the 3-point line. Everyone's just going. It's just outlet passes 3-pointer, outlet passes 3-pointer, and that's how I felt. Drexel, my time at Drexel. So it's interesting because the mid-range shot that like I guess I was good at, it's like I felt so crappy because like it literally, if I moved 2 feet back, it would be a 3, but I can't hit those consistently. So I have to hit like a base, almost like a Danny Green, but 2 feet within the corner, right? Like I'm just almost at the 3, but I'm just a corner 2 specialist in a lot of ways. And I just felt like that it was a good point, but never like enough. So that's the frustrating thing about mid-rangers. It's like it's a jump shot and like you can make a jump shot, but it's not. It's almost like what's the difference between that and a layup? So it was my play style was frustrating. I would beat myself up because I was like, I could hit mid-rangers, but if I could only hit threes more consistently.
It's also interesting just watching like the scale of what a good player does and can do. Like easy example. I was playing like a few years ago, and a few guys from the club team like came down to play, and they were basically doing like the most simple basketball concepts, but pickup people don't know what they are until it happens to them. So, like for example, like the guy would come up for the screen, like on the club team. He wasn't like tall; he was like 6'2", so he wasn't like he wasn't making like a towering disadvantage out of the situation or anything like that. But he would just slip the screen. So instead of like making full contact, he would just open up his hips, run backwards, catch it, and like make the layup. But you don't know how to defend a slip screen until like the weak side defender in the corner slides down, but the weak side defender has no idea what to do. You know what I mean? Like that's how you're supposed to defend that. But a typical Drexel defender who's guarding the guy on the 3-point line, like the corner 3, probably isn't good on defense, and that's why they're guarding that guy. You know what I mean? Then those same guys, like the same guy I'm talking about, he played in the NCAA tournament game that we just had, right? Like he played against Illinois. And I watched him get absolutely destroyed by a high pick and roll. Like I know he knew what to do, but he, the athlete, couldn't do it. Like he was like 6'2", 6'3". He got screened by a 6'11" guy, and he looked like a bug on a windshield. You know what I mean? So it's just like there's only so good you can get, because I just watched a dude who absolutely destroyed us just slipping a screen. Like that's all he did. He had to all he did is slip a screen, and the corner defender didn't know what to do. He knew what he needed to do. He just couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what? That's life. You know, you can only control what you can control. And a lot of that people just eliminate having to think by just shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
it's like what I love about pickup basketball too is like you like almost like the body frame of a person should never give you any indication of actually how good they are. Like even
Yeah.
if you're the most jacked, oh gosh, like I've made this mistake of like, oh, like yo, like I want him on my team. He definitely looks athletic. He looks coordinated. He looks like he can ball, and then shoot with like one hand off of one foot, and you're like, God, what is that? And then the guy who's like a skinny kid who's short is like, oh God, he's just pulling moves on you. And you're like, oh gosh, like what the heck? So I love it. I love it and I hate it. And it's you said it's chaotically beautiful.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, for example, like I know like a bunch of the guys who play, and like the easiest example is Kevin. You know Kevin Doy? Like
Yes. Yes. How do
how
I not know
absolutely
him?
destructive he is. He is
Bro.
legitimately like if Steph Curry could be melted down into someone who went to Drexel. And that's how he plays. He's just so terrifying every time. You know what I mean? And you just have to know that. Like you just have to know who he is to give him that level of respect. Because if he just went to like a random park in any other city, he would be so unassuming because he's also like 5'8" or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's like 5'7", 5'8". He's also not any like his build isn't anything particularly like astounding. It's nothing like you'll be like, oh, like, turn around, double check on him. He's like he seems very average in terms of height and like weight. But oh gosh, Kevin, this guy was nasty. I oh man, sometimes I would play against him and like because maybe like there's an office switch off a screen. I have to be paired up with him. I was like, just shoot it, man. I know it's going in. I can't do nothing about this.
it's it's terrifying, you know. Even like Caleb, even he is like so unbelievably unassuming. Yet he's
Mm,
just so fast with the ball. And then
yeah,
look, little dude reverse layup every time.
yeah,
Little dude reverse layup. Little dude step back 10-footer. I'm like, I hate this little kid. But you know what? He's not a little kid. He's just a year younger than me and short. You know what I mean? It's just like God.
yeah.
It's
But that's
just you never know.
it's uh it's interesting. Yeah, there's just so many different types of people when you play pickup, and I think that's the beauty of it too. While we're on this topic, like pickup is something that I think is like honestly why a lot of people I think feel like they just that's how they pick up basketball as their own sport because there's so many different play styles, so many different levels of play. Like there's a spectrum of like where you fall, and I think like the crazy thing is you don't have to have any sort of formal basketball training background. Like you don't, I didn't, right? And you're not necessarily having to go out there and do 100 drills. But if you play enough pickup games, right? If you play like let's say 150 throughout a 2 year span, a year span, you're going to get noticeably better at pickup ball. Maybe you're not as so adept as to like if there was a ref, then like are these are fouls, these aren't fouls, but you're gonna get noticeably better at basketball just by playing, pickup basketball so many freaking times. And and it's crazy because like the jump shot's gonna look ugly as hell sometimes with some of these people, but it goes in, and that's like I guess a good thing of pickup basketball. It's like you adopt it as your own and almost.
Yeah. It was funny because like I think just genuinely my understanding of the game of basketball has only gotten better as like my overall athleticism has gotten worse. Like if you like I can read a floor so much better now. But when I was a freshman, I felt like legitimately I could do whatever I want. Like literally like you were saying, play for like 3 or 4 hours. But it was really just no thoughts, just vibes. You know what I mean? Like I would
Exactly.
go out there and just do whatever was happening. Like do like whatever I would see fit. But I don't know if you noticed, even as I got older, when I was like right before we had to close school and everything, when I would play defense, Like I was calling everything. Like I was always
Oh, for sure.
shouting everything. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Please just
Yeah.
like be aware of that. Because sometimes if you don't tell someone, like literally like a coach would, like what's about to happen to them on defense, they won't know. They won't even recognize it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So like you would hear
Dude,
me like literally on the track. You could hear me like yelling for screens, telling the guys you can like take 2 steps back, like calling whatever shot some guy was gonna shoot. You know what I mean? Just because that's where I was. But if you asked me like, hey Theo, play more than like 3 games in a row, I'd be like, no, you're kidding yourself. That's
yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta be like nowadays, for me at least, I gotta pick and choose like when I want to even just like go all out for a loose ball or like
Oh
jump for a
yeah.
rebound. That's you know what I'm saying? Like those are you only have a certain amount in them in your body a day. So you gotta pick and
Yeah.
choose your battles with them.
I mean, freshman year, I was going so hard, I dislocated my shoulder. And then like 2 weeks later, I was playing again. It's just like, yeah,
Crazy.
whatever.
I
I like
know, I
it doesn't
know.
matter. What else
Yeah,
matters? Ball is life.
exactly.
I wanted to ask this now since like you might like since we're on the topic.
Yeah.
Of your friends, who's the best basketball player?
Oh gosh. Of my friends.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great question. I will say like does someone I know who I play against count? 'Cause I'm not necessarily my friend, but somebody I
Sure.
played against.
Sure.
So back in freshman year, I was on there was like we had our like JV team and stuff like that, and I was just somewhere between 2 to 3 years playing, and I just made it just because I was a hustle player, and I was playing against at this time I did not know him that well, but heard he was up and coming. His name is Lamar Stevens,
Really?
and you might know who Lamar if you're listening out there, you might know him, you might not know him. He's on the Cavaliers right now, the Cleveland
Yeah.
Cavaliers in the NBA. He's a rookie. He played for Penn State for I think three or 4 years, and I played against Lamar Stevens. I'll say that he's the best player I ever played. And no, but I'll tell you this: he wasn't obviously he wasn't like what he is now. Like he didn't have don't I'm not telling you he did not have a jumper. He was athletic, long. At the time, he was like 6'1", 6'2", so he wasn't even that like significantly taller than the rest of the people. But yeah, he was just like you knew he was just athletic. He was getting to the rim, he was gliding across the court, and he was just like he was beating you just off of the block, and you're like, yeah, I can't do nothing about it. And I was like, but he can't shoot. And I was like, he doesn't, and he couldn't dribble that well either. He was like, he had like 1 or 2 moves to get past you through his athleticism, and that was kind of it. Didn't think too much of it until all of a sudden I was like, this guy is actually in the NBA. I was like, damn. So best player I played against, I guess. But it didn't look like it at the time, but he definitely put in all the work, and he is where he is now.
It's pretty solid. I was gonna like make you like choose, but Dave.
Yes.
I would say he's the best.
I hate playing against Dave. I hate playing against Dave. I'll tell you that, like, that's what I hate about 3 pointers is like, if it makes you feel like you're left on an island and you can look really bad in that island, right? If you're defending, and that's what he does to you. He will just shoot a three in your face, and though you're close to guarding him, he still makes it. Or he would pump fake and just get by you, or he'll play some mind games, dribble, and then step back and then get you. And then it's just like I don't know what I'm supposed to think, but I know I'm not thinking it correctly because I'm not doing well. Dave is good. Dave is definitely good. I'd say like Albert's up there. I don't know if you know is a guy named Chris Bui. He's now in the Vietnamese Basketball
Okay.
Association.
Hmm.
Um, he is a hard ass worker, Theo. It's like his grind is crazy. I would sometimes I would go to the gym at like 6 36:45 before work to get some shots up too, and he's already there sweating. Like he's been at the gym before I did. I thought I was getting there early. He was there like sweating, pulling jump shots, like doing drills, like, and he's like the hardest worker I've seen for sure in my personal experience. And he's playing professionally now overseas, so
That's
kudos to
awesome.
him.
Yeah. The reason why I would specifically say Dave is that I saw him play, like he was joking around. He was joking around. There was one time he had, I think he hit 9. He hit 9 points. So he had 4 straight twos and then like one like floater in Crocs, and he was joking one time. And I was like, I hate this guy. Like
Yeah,
why
you
are
hate
things so
it.
why are things so easy for you? I have to bust my ass to do anything. Like anything. And I was like, this is so frustrating. I remember when I was a freshman and I would get hot and you found it really, really annoying because I knew it was annoying because I knew I wasn't like that, but I would get hot sometimes. But Dave is just automatic. And I'm like, I hate this. The thing
Yeah.
about Albert is that I think I think with Albert, the reason why I don't say he's better than Dave is simply because I think of like the sample size of Albert's just bigger. Like I think I've
Mm,
just seen him play so much that
yeah.
Dave's relative sample size makes me think that if I made him play as many games as Albert as I've seen in my head, Dave's games would be
Mm-hmm.
better. But I
Yeah.
have with like the track record for Albert's also like very elite. And also Brian too. Like of course Brian's that dude, you know.
So yeah, for
Point
your
God
listeners out
Brian.
there, yeah, for your listeners out there, I guess the way that I would compare Dave. So Dave, we've been talking about Dave. Dave is like he's like the pure, like a very pure 3-point shooter, but he can also dribble and he can like do a little bit of everything. But his main focus is like shooting threes. So annoying part about Dave is like if you were having to close out a shot that he like had gotten the pass from, it's very hard because like he can just do it, or like because you're scared he's gonna shoot through, you're gonna over like commit on like blocking a shot or guarding it that he's just gonna go by you through a drive. So that's the really annoying like mind game that Dave has. Albert's play style is like he can play make, dribble, but again he's also a little bit he's a shooter for sure. He's a bit more streaky for sure. So like if he's on, it's like good lord, like it's you're gonna have a hard day, a hard day for sure. But he can play make too, which makes him a little more dangerous in my eyes. Whereas Dave isn't. He can pass, but his mindset's more like, okay, I'm going to get the ball, shoot.
Yeah.
But they're both like a microwave, man. Like if you give them like a shot, right, and they make it, oh god, you better hope that the next shot is just off. Because like if they make that second shot, oh god.
It's hard with them because they're the kind of players that you need more than one person to guard. Like you need one person to run them off the shot, then you need the second person to also pick them up. But
Yeah.
in pickup,
But nobody does
you're
that.
not gonna exactly, you're not gonna get
Exactly.
that. Like that's what makes them so hard because you can do everything right. If you watch like a regulation game, if they were like in a team setting, what you would see
Mm-hmm.
is someone run them off the three, and then someone would come stunt their drive and they'd have to give it up. But because no one decides to ever do that, ever for any reason, because they're like, I'm not leaving my man. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Your man is shooting like 27% for his whole career. All right, you can leave him, okay? But no, they don't want to. Like, I have to be the one who gets cooked. You know what I mean? Like, come
Yeah.
on now. Like, it's so
And
rude.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're on in pickup basketball, you're just on the island because nobody not that nobody wants to help, but no one is willing to help so graciously in a lot of ways, right? Like
Nobody wants to.
yeah, like I would tell you that they're defendable if you're able to get some help, but because nobody is willing to give you help, they're almost not defendable. So you're just like, okay, well, F me then, I guess, right?
Yeah. The hard thing for me, even just like adapting into like getting, like to through the years. When I was younger, you knew me, I would just shoot threes. And I was
Yeah.
like okay at it. You know what I mean? Like just I was JR in those threes. You know what I mean?
You're
But
pulling up. You're pulling up anywhere you can.
I was pulling up. and
Yeah.
that eventually subsided. I don't know what the word is. Subsided. There we go. That
Yeah.
subsided because I was getting bigger. Like I was like, oh look, a gym I can do anything in. I just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and that had to translate really well. That had to translate better because if I'm a bigger size, I should play bigger. But it's hard to be the size I am, but also be really short. Like in what like real realm of life is a 5'10" person posting up? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
But that's what had to happen. But
But you're
when
gonna
what
get like triple teamed. Like
exactly.
literally, if you're in the paint and you have the ball, you're a magnet to everybody and anyone, and it's the worst. It's the worst feeling. That's
The
why I'm
good
telling you,
yeah.
Drexel is the 30,000 times worse Golden State Warriors because it's the worst. It's apparently everyone's a floor spacer, but they can't space the floor.
No, not at all. Like you pass it to them, like it's the strangest thing. They're on the three. You get past your man because of a screen, or you just have the step on them, and you kick it out, and then they drive. And I'm like, why were you standing there then? Like if you're gonna
And then
drive every time I kick it out, why are you standing there? Why aren't you cutting then? You know what I mean? It's just a mess,
yeah,
and no one like if I post somebody up, generally I'm gonna have an advantage on them because I chose to post them up. You know what I mean? I choose to do that. If I
yeah,
think I'm going to get a good pass off, you can't just stand there, all right? Because then I get nothing out of it. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine because you don't know why? Because I do taxes and therefore I don't play basketball like that anymore. So that's all in the past.
apparently.
So I wanted to move on to the next. And that was a wonderful basketball chat. I haven't had one in a while, just on like
Love
general
it.
ball. But just for you in general, like you grew up
Yeah.
in the Philly area, and I was merely adopted into the area. But like I have my favorite things and I know you do. So just tell me in
hmm
general, like what are your favorite things about Philly, your favorite spots to just like kind of chill out about, even if they're popular, if they're not popular, like favorite places to go, all that stuff.
Yeah. So in terms of restaurants, I think anytime you're like new to city, you have to try cheesesteak. You have to go to the Ben Franklin Parkway, go to Art Museum. Those are some of the let's call it overhyped things that everyone tries. Which, granted, those are actually some pretty cool spots, like to even hang out generally. Like the Art Museum in Philadelphia is a really cool hangout spot just to exercise at, take pictures, whatnot, and just enjoy time. I would say my favorite spot, and it's still a place that like still the area of Philadelphia I'm still trying to get more used to and explore more. But it's in Fishtown, and in Philadelphia, Fishtown's more of like it was a not as like popularly residential area, but now it's becoming more residential, filled more restaurants. So it's become more of a popular spot for young working adults. But in Fishtown, there's a spot called Evil Genius. It's like I think they brew their own beers, but their main focus is like they have a bunch of different types of beers, lagers, ales, you name it, and the craziest flavor. Like they have an avocado type of flavored beer. It's wild, and I love that spot because like I love craft beers specifically. So anytime I'm able to try different types of flavors of beers, I don't try to go drink too much of alcohol at one time, but trying different beers is always an enjoyable experience. So they have like these flights, and these flights are they're probably like 4 ounces, less than 4 ounces of beer, a single beer, and you're trying different types, and it's a great spot to just try different beers, especially if you like beer, like craft beers, and then it's also like a big space, so you're able to like hang out, talk, play games, and just enjoy. So that's definitely a spot. And there's some food there, but I think mainly it's just about the alcohol. So if you're in Philly, I would recommend going to Evil Genius for a nightlife kind of experience. I'm not too sure exactly. I haven't gone there since the pandemic, so I'm not too sure if I think they're still open, but I don't know if like how the procedures of COVID affected where how the hangout is. But it's definitely still open, so give it a try if you're in the area, even if it's not late at night. It's a great spot to just drink some beers. Um, in terms of food, so I would say, Theo, I'm not too sure about you, but sandwiches are a love of mine. Like any type of sandwich. You can argue hamburgers are sandwiches. And I love hamburgers. Um, one of my favorite types of sandwiches are called banh mi's. They're Vietnamese like hoagie almost, if you can imagine it. If you haven't heard of it, it's called banh mi.
Crack.
And yes, it's so how a banh mi, a classic banh mi is assembled, and you can always vary what goes in, but like from what I've seen in my experience of what like a traditional classic banh mi looks like is it's a French baguette. So in terms of like consistency of the bread, it's very crispy, flaky on the outside, but the inside is very pillowy. It absorbs a lot of the flavor of what ingredients you're putting in. So that's typical French baguette. So it's a French baguette, and inside you have Vietnamese cold deli meats. So they look like here has some pork. I don't think there's ham, but there's like the cold cuts of pork, and they put a pate almost like as their version of a mayo, right? So it's pate is like I think it's some sort of like milled down, uh, like liver paste, but it sounds kind of weird. It sounds very like I don't know, non-appetizing, but it's crazy good. It's packed with a lot of umami flavors. It's rich, it's good, and it really, um, I think really makes the sandwich what it is for honestly, speak. So that's kind of like the more of the meatier sides of the sandwich, and then you have pickled radish or it's a pickled daikon and carrots, cilantro, cucumbers, and I think yeah, and if you want it spicy, they have the jalapeno, slices of jalapeno as an option. And for me as a food lover, I always eat with how the tech like I always eat with texture, right? I think texture is so important to me as I'm eating a food because having one texture that you eat over and over is it gets a little bit boring, and honestly I kind of get sick and tired of it really quickly. So like for example, not that I hate cheesesteaks, but I think cheesesteaks can get to a point where like let's say you're in your fifth, sixth bite in, it's the same texture, flavor profile every time. While banh mi, because again the bread is crispy on the outside, you're getting crunch from that as well as the crunch from the pickled daikon and carrots. You're getting a little heat from the jalapenos, the cilantro. If you like cilantro, it adds a little bit of its own brightness to it. And then you're getting obviously a rich, salty umami flavor of the meat and the pate. So that all to say, my favorite spot in Philadelphia for a food, like a food sandwich, is called Me and Tea, Mi like for banh mi, and then Tea for tea, and they do bubble tea as well. I don't know if you've been there, Theo. It's more they opened recently, opened actually during the pandemic, but you need to try it because I have to say this, it's the best banh mi place I've ever been to. And it also helps that they opened on my birthday. So kudos to them. But it's a great place. You have to try it. Their bubble tea is like it's the boba is really good. The bubble tea is great. The sandwich, oh god. You always gotta get two. I'm not even joking. Like every time I go there, I can't just get one. I'll it's just too short of an experience. And even though like the second one kind of like makes me really full and like really like oh I ate too much food. It's great. It's so good. So check it out if you're in Philadelphia or Me and T and Evil Genius. And of course, you have to try cheesesteak. And if I had to give a recommendation for a cheesesteak, do not go to Pat's or Geno's. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't. If you're trying to spend like at least $12 on a sandwich, I would say go to John's Roast Pork or Delisandro's. They are phenomenal, phenomenal. They're both a little different from the classic, I guess the classic Philly cheesesteak, but they are great sandwiches. So
Mm, very succinct rundown.
uh,
I hey, go for it.
I love food, so I gotta make sure like the listeners who are going to go check out Philly, they gotta know.
They gotta know. No, that's a very good list. There's so many different kinds of food I got put on to when just living in Philly. Um, like I started eating dim sum when I was in Philly because it's not much around here, like where I live. So I started eating dim sum in Philly. First ever banh mi I had it in Philly. I loved it. Like it's so good. But I've never heard of
Yeah,
that place, but I I gotta try it out.
yeah.
But
Come back up whenever. Let me know. I'll take you there.
okay.
Dude, it's like whatever you had in Philadelphia for a banh mi sandwich, it's just that much better of a banh mi sandwich.
I've been craving one for like 6 months now. So
Okay, I guess we
um
gotta make it a trip then.
looks like it. Let's see. My food places. Okay, so I got to do my favorite place in general because this is from a like an outsider perspective. I came in and I was like, I gotta live here, so I have to enjoy what's going on. But freshman year, I didn't really do anything. Like where my apartment was, like on 38th and Hamilton, was like a place I'd literally never go to as a freshman. You know what I mean? Just it would stay on campus, maybe go to Penn's campus, like a little bit, Temple and Center City. That is it. That's
Mm-hmm.
as far as I would go. And then like end of freshman year, I found Penn's Landing, and I was like, "Ooh, there's stuff out here. Okay, okay, you
Yeah.
know." And I was like, "This is cool. Like, I really like this." And like, of course, down the street, Spruce Street Harbor Park was really cool. Just like catch a vibe, chill out. Um, then as I started getting older, and then like I got a car as a sophomore. So as I started getting older, I started finding more things. Like, I don't know if you what you call it, mainline or City Ave, but I love City Ave. Like just everything on it. Like I go to the Target that's on City Ave. Um, there's this Peruvian chicken place over there. That's like a
So
it's like
yes,
heavy on the DC. Like that's a DC chain. Yeah,
Sardi's, right?
Sardi's is a DC chain, but they have it up there. And I was like, oh, a taste of home. And I would go there like every other Sunday. I remember that's how often I went. Um, Honey Grow, that was a Philly thing. And I started like then it got really pricey, like for what it was, and I was like, whatever. But favorite places I always tell everyone I have to go. Like I came up to Philly like a couple weeks ago actually. And I
Well,
went
thanks for the notice.
I mean, okay, to be fair, I was on a mission, you know what I mean? I was only there for like a
Okay,
little bit.
okay.
There's this taco place by the art museum. It's called Buena Onda. It is so good. It is
Is
so
it
good.
is it the burrito taco? Burrito
No, no,
taco?
no. This is shrimp tacos. And
Okay.
it's so good. Oh my god. I get it every time. I've been to Philly 2 times in 2021. Both times I got Buena Onda. That's how you know where my priorities are. They have these shrimp tacos and wow, just delicious,
They only
nutritious.
they just serve the one taco, or is it like
Now you
a
it's like
bunch of other things?
one taco's like 350 or something like that. So I
Gotcha.
get like a ton of them. So that's lunch. Dinner, I love Sampan. I don't know how you feel about it, but I love it. Like it's just like it's one of my favorite restaurants ever is Sampan.
Funny story about Sampan. So, um, my girlfriend and I, we were celebrating our 1 year anniversary, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? You know, next door, Sampan is Double Knot Sushi, right?
Yeah.
They're owned by the same person. It's literally
The same
like
thing,
what
yeah.
connects them? Yeah, literally, it's just there's like a hallway that connects the two restaurants actually. And for my first anniversary, my first year, like 1 year anniversary, I was like, yo, like tell my girlfriend, like, we're gonna go to Double Knot, like. And I was trying to make a call, like to reserve like a spot, but apparently they're like, yeah, you just walk in. And obviously, like, it never works out because I walked in during dinner time. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like a 1.5 hour wait. I looked at my girlfriend, I'm like, frick, man, like I effed up. Like, I should not have done this. And I know I saw Sampan, like I heard of Sampan before, but I was like, I never like thought about it. So it's like, okay, like there's a restaurant next door. Let's just see if this turns out well or not, you know? I go in there. I'm like, hey, like, do you guys have? We just table for two. Like, how long will the wait be? And they're like, oh yeah, we have a table here. So I was like, oh sweet. And Yeah, Sampan saved my 1 year anniversary. That's it.
Hey.
So that's the story behind Sampan. I like it. It's good food.
Yeah, I love Sampan because I would go during sips,
Yeah.
and that first of all, my two favorite things about Philadelphia as a whole, sips and Drake night, two best things Philadelphia ever had to offer me. And then of course you. So, um, during sips, I would just go into Sampan and everything was like $5, and I would literally just
Yeah.
order dinner during sips, and it was just amazing. I've heard of Evil Genius because I used to work at a restaurant and we like used to get
Yeah.
their stuff, but I don't drink like anything. But I've heard of it,
Mhm.
and I've heard of that place
Mhm.
being like a really cool experience.
It
Um,
is. It is.
I've heard of it before. Fishtown, I've been there a few times. I used to go to Barcade a lot because I'm basically just a grown child. Um, so I've had my fair time at Fishtown. Um, what else? What else? What else? Brunch? Oof. Have you heard of Honey's before? Honey's Sit and Eat. Have you heard of that before?
Yes, I have. I have.
That's my spot right there. Honey's is so
Okay.
good. And then the only thing I don't like is cash only, but a lot of things in Philly are cash only, so it's whatever. Um, and then Founding Farmers, that's in
King of
KOP.
Prussia.
They
Yeah, dude, I just went there. I just went there.
I like it in general because they have more of them closer to me, like down here in like the DC area. They have a lot more down here. I just know it's up there too. Actually have never been to the one that's up there, but I really like it in general. But yeah, Sampan, cheesesteak place Delisandro's. No question about it. I love Delisandro's. I just hate the traffic. Like trying to get into Delisandro's is a nightmare. But the food it makes it worth it every time.
Yeah. It's interesting because like the sandwich is there and instead of like threads of like the ribeye meat, the steak, they just like finally chop it up into like
Yeah.
really, really minced up pieces of beef, which if you think about it, is a really smart thing to do just because you're getting such an even amount of meat every single time,
Hmm.
mixed within the cheese.
Yeah.
So I like it. I thought, and the bread is good. Um, yeah, I would say like that used to be my top. That used to be my top until I had John Rose pork steaks, the cheesesteak sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had them, but they're godly too. So
I
can't go
I
wrong with either.
So that's the thing. I would the first time I heard of John's was when I stopped eating red meat. When I started eating it less. Like
Hmm.
I only eat red meat like once a week now, just because health. Uh, my parents were told like 2-3 years ago that they need to stop eating, like they need to eat it less. And I was like, well, if I'm half my father and half my mother, and both of them were told the same thing, I think eventually I should just start doing the same thing as them.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I've been eating it less. I don't even remember the last time I had a cheesesteak, if I'm being fair. But John's roast pork, gotta try that out. But yeah, Sampan's crack. I had Chima. Like Chima is basically like another version of like Fogo, and I really like Chima. Um, but one of my favorite things that Philly ever had, and they don't have it anymore, at least I don't think so. There's this food truck on campus, like our campus, and it was like on North 33rd Street, like right in front of the Armory. There's a Filipino food truck. And it was literally
Oh
just like
yes.
it was chopped up chicken or pork over jasmine rice. That was it. It was as simple as
And then like
possible.
yeah, some onions on top as like
Yes.
garnish.
Oh my
Yes.
god. I will tell you this right now. If that food truck was anywhere near me, and I mean within like an hour of me, I would go at least twice a week. Right
Dude,
now.
I don't know if you like I don't even remember it. I wish we can give them a shout out, but I don't even remember the name of the place. But
Mama
like it just
Telly's.
popped.
Shout out.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yes.
it was Filipino, so like
Yeah, dude.
Ali loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
no,
was
it
so
was
good.
yeah, it was just a simple meat over rice dish, honestly. And I didn't and it was like what, like $6, $7
Yeah, it was $6. It
for a
was
meal.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And the owners they were so nice. Like I remember um they did a whole day where they just I think just because I think it was like the 1 year anniversary or something, they just started giving out free meals
Oh my
just because
god.
like they wanted to. I was like, what the heck?
I
So
re-
good.
I remember when I
It's
first found it. Like my roommate Kit, he like well my old roommate Kit, he told me about it. And that was when there was only like 2 or 3 people in front of the cart. So I used to go like a lot. But then like I would come out of class and it would be like 2 o'clock. And I'd run up to him and I'd be like, "Do you have any food left?" He goes, "No, I sold out of everything." I'm like, "Damn, I hate that." I hate selfishly that everyone loves this place, but I'm happy for him that everyone loves
Yeah,
this place, you
yeah,
know?
dude. It's yeah, the guy there, and I guess the mama is like so nice. Like they were
Yeah,
so genuine, and like you could tell, like everything they did was like hand prepared, like from the marinade to literally cooking the rice to even cook like all the whole process, the whole system of how they ran their food truck was like so mom and pop, which is so cool.
so cool. I definitely ate like to close this part, like this was definitely like I ate a lot of sandwiches in Philly. Like just I mean, I'll never convert to saying hoagie or I'll never convert to saying water ice, but
Oh,
um
come on. We
bro,
adopt
no.
you.
Like literally if you just
It's a
leave
hoagie.
Philadelphia,
It's a
Rita's
hoagie.
Italian ice. It just says it right there. If you just leave Philadelphia, why would I call it a hoagie if I've been calling it a sub my entire life? Like my whole life. You know what I mean? But it's fine. Okay. You're from there. You're allowed to say that. But like I'm not from there. I was nearly adopted by the 215, 267. You know what I mean?
Did you ever call water ice, or I guess Italian ice water ice, when you were in Philly? Like just out of like subconsciously, oh yeah, water ice. Did that ever
Um
happen to you?
no, I mean
Or maybe
it did
hoagie?
one time and I was so mad.
I love it. I love it.
Cause like we were doing a fundraiser for it. So like I had to kind of like say it a lot, but I was doing it for the purpose of the fundraiser. And then
Hmm.
once I was talking to my girlfriend, I said it again, but like subconsciously, and I was like, "Oh no, not like this." But I haven't said it that way since, except for like in the context I just used it for to tell you what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, nah. But it is delicious. I will say that. But man,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
one of
and
the things that
Wawa's a
oh
big thing
wow, that's the thing. Wow is a really big thing here too. Like,
in Maryland.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was a big thing in, like, the, like, South Jersey, Philly area until I
Oh
went
yeah.
there, but people were like, "Yeah, Wawa's
Yeah.
everything," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, it is, like, kind of around here too." Like, Royal Farms is a big deal here, but closer to DC, it's a huge Wawa is, like, you guys have it as religion, it's like religion near DC too. It's a huge deal.
Yeah, I would say like it's because it stays open late. It's like after a night
Yeah.
of drinking, it's everybody's like go-to spot for food.
When I would leave the gym, it was right there. I was like, shoot, it's right there. You know what I mean? It's right there. Um, but you know, food is food. I'm gonna have to come see you. We're trying out that me and tea place. Okay, last thing I have to ask. What's your favorite bubble tea place? I have to ask.
Yeah.
I just have to know. You,
Hmm.
John Joe, favorite bubble tea place.
Favorite bubble tea place?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. There's so many good ones. So I would say and it depends. It really depends on my mood because
Okay.
sometimes you want a milk tea because you just want the milk tea, and then
Mm,
sometimes you want a fruit-based tea, right? You want something
mm,
that's a little bit more refreshing, I would say.
yeah.
So, based on my mood, so if you are, I think they're pretty much a lot everywhere, but if you want like a refreshing fruit tea, literally any kind of fruit, literally, whatever fruit, whatever type of tea, go to Mr. Wish.
Mm,
And Mr. Wish is like it's like crack. Like if you want a fruit tea and you want like actual fruit in your tea, they're gonna do that for you, and they're gonna do it well. They can adjust obviously just an ice level, I adjust the sweetness level, but Mr. Wish is crazy good. Like, and I think maybe people go, okay, well, it's not even like a local thing. I don't care. It's so good. Like when I tried it, I was like, when you try a mango slushy, like you should taste or have some bits of mango, right? Like, and it has it. If you want a mango tea with like mango green tea, it should have some bits of mango. And I swear it should, and it does. And I'm like, why haven't I had this before? Why haven't we? Why can't this be more of a general practice amongst all bubble tea shops? It's good. If I
Mm,
want a milk tea, um, I'd say in the Philadelphia area, it's tough. I would say like and everyone has one, but Kung Fu tea is so good. It's so consistent.
yeah,
It's so consistent everywhere that I don't think like I ever feel like I've been to a bad Kung Fu tea, which is like a blessing and always maybe not the best spot, but it's so consistently good. Every time I go there for milk tea, it's just in there everywhere, so I can just get one easily, and I know what I'm gonna get. So
makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, like we've been going to Kung Fu Tea. Like Allie and I have been going to Kung Fu Tea so consistently. She's a Kung Fu Tea ambassador at this point, like
mm,
literally. And one of the things about that is like there's a Kung Fu Tea like for 6 minutes from my house. Um, so like we
damn,
go,
that's dangerous. That is freaking dangerous.
yeah, like it's like right there. And
Yeah,
then we've been trying out this new place. Like we've been trying out new places recently. There's this place, um, I think it's called. Wow, I don't even remember anymore. But we just tried this place. It was called Bubbles and Tea
hmm.
in it was like in the DMV area. It was pretty good. And then the place I'm talking about is called Vivi, like
Oh
VIVI.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It was pretty good. I like that. Like they have a lot of flavors. They have like 16 most popular flavors or something like that. And I was like, all of these are wild. But yeah, Kung Fu Tea and then Vivi's been really good to us lately. The only thing that's interesting about Kung Fu Tea is that when I was just up there in Philly, the one on our campus has like food. It has like
Yeah, yeah.
Asian snack, like Asian, yeah,
Like
Asian
hot
snacks and
food.
stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the one by me, they have, I think it's called KT fried chicken, KFT fried chicken or something like that. Like it's like
Yeah,
a
like
they
the
have
Taiwanese. It's a Taiwanese type
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
fried chicken.
They
Yeah.
have like fried chicken and stuff. And I was like, this is cool. Like, just give it like a little different twist or whatever. But one of the things about it is that like how often can I eat fried chicken and like feel decent about it? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
If you get what's
yeah.
your go-to order?
Passion fruit green tea, 30% sugar with the bubbles.
Less ice or normal ice?
Large. Get it
Gotcha.
large.
I respect that. I respect that.
What do you get?
Oh, gosh. So I usually get like if it's a milk tea, oolong milk tea.
Mm,
Something about oolong, like the taste of oolong is just so good. It's so like distinct in its like profile. So oolong milk tea, less sugar, less ice, with boba, always with boba. Or do you say bubbles or do you say boba?
I don't know. I think I say bubbles. I
Yeah.
know it's
It
I know it's boba, but like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's an East Coast, West Coast thing. A lot of people in the East Coast refer to it as bubbles. A lot of the people in the West Coast refer to it as boba.
mm,
It's interesting. And then if it's a fruit tea, peach and mango, uh, like a slushy, or peach and mango like green tea, immaculate, immaculate.
mm, true. Nice. Well, let's we talked about food and we could do it all day. But I want to talk to you about just a little something else you got going on here. So you've been on your grind. You've been on your exercise grind.
I
Like
tried to.
I see you posting like the Nike run summaries and stuff like that. What what led to that like surge in your running and all that recently?
Yeah. So actually, I have never been I have like grown up hating running, like just long distance running. I freaking hated it. But last year, like pre-pandemic, like literally June, or sorry, January, or December, January, like around that time frame, I was like, yo, I just want to try doing this half marathon that was coming up in March, which obviously got postponed because of COVID. But I wanted to do it's the Broad Street Run, and no, sorry, it's wait, I think it is I forget which one it was actually, but it was a half marathon, and I was like, yo, like I want to prove to myself that like not only can I just run like a certain amount of time, but like I can do it. Like I can do a half marathon. Like literally just get off of that. Like get off that of my bucket list. Like I ran a half marathon. So I found like a training regimen and I started running and I hated it. Like literally I could tell you 2 miles and I like was like, F this. This is the worst thing ever. But I think during my training, as I got into the higher miles, like so like past 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, and like these runs became not just like a 30-minute max thing. It was like literally an hour and a half. I I was thinking to myself like there's actually something really therapeutic and really something productive about running long distance. Like so as I mean as you run, like you listen to music probably, right? As you run. Um, but I started switching out music as I was running to podcasts, like something that you're doing, right? Just listening to podcasts, whether they're a 30-minute podcast or an hour-long podcast or hour and a half long podcast, something whether it was, and generally just all areas of spectrum from sports to art to people talking about what's going on in the economy, finance. And I think like as I was like listening to these podcasts and like learning as I was running, it became an activity where again like I was just growing a knowledge and a hobby. And obviously so since the pandemic happened, the whole half marathon got canceled. It was postponed and then eventually canceled. I just kept running because it was something that I picked up as an enjoyable hobby, like something that like I'm super stressed at work or maybe um yeah, like I don't have time to maybe go to the gym and lift. I can just go on a 30-minute, less than a 30-minute run and still get so much out of it. Like I'm sweating so much, but I'm also enjoying listening to something that helps me like concentrate, focus on like on my next move or what do I want to do like when I get back home. So running is, I mean, the story is really just happening out of like of a point of me wanting to prove to myself I could run a half marathon, but it just ended up being like a habit and a hobby that just stuck. So
Wow. Well, hey, just letting you know, if you ever feel like, why am I posting these? You know what I mean? Just know that I do find motivation from them. You know what I mean? Like I see them and I'm like, you know what, Theo, you can do it. This is the day. You can do this. You know what I mean? Um, and I've like since I've been vaccinated, I actually started going to the gym again. Like
yeah,
I started going again this past like on Monday, and it's felt really good. I was trying to do like a little like neighborhood jog here and there, and I mean I was doing okay, but it started raining a lot, like a lot. Like it rained, I think like it was like either last week or 2 weeks ago, like 6 of 8 days, and I'm like I don't want to slip or like get hurt or anything, so I like had taken a little break from it, and then now I'm back, and when I just think about like how you've been like doing your thing, and I'm like, you know what, Theo, I know you hate cardio. You do hate cardio, but you can do this. And I used to run a lot when I was playing soccer, when I was, youngin', like when I was like 17, 18. But literally ever since we started going to Drexel, like what's cardio? I don't know. Like I literally don't know.
it's just it would be basketball. That would be the
Exactly.
cardio.
Because like I just get so bored. Like even if my
Yeah,
endurance is good, I get really bored really fast.
yeah, it can
And
get
yeah,
monotonous.
like what's my objective if I'm running, and sometimes it's hard for me to find that, because if it's like if you're just running just to maintain staying in shape, I'd rather do something that's like short form, like or like with a ball or something like that. But if it's like you're just running to run, I lose motivation like super easily. But just seeing your posts and stuff, I'm like, yeah, you don't need to lose motivation today. All right, maybe next week, again, and then you post again. I'm like, okay, next week, what I mean, just keep going, Theo. So yeah, I found it very inspiring.
Yeah, and it's if if your listeners are starting wanting to run or just start running, just even if it's to lose weight or just to get into shape, it's never for me. The running has never been about time. Like there's such a our culture is so almost like hyper competitive of who can run faster, and I could care less. Like for me, I don't try to run fast. I don't try to run um, under a certain amount of time. I just try to run the distance that I plan on that day. So if I want to run 3 miles, I just run the 3 miles. Like, and obviously I want to make sure that my pace is like good in terms of like, am I running at a pace that is challenging, but at the same time almost relaxed? And I would run it. And I think that's like how I've developed a healthy relationship with running that I think many people should. It's not about running under 8 minutes per mile. If you can do it, that's so good. I mean, that's really impressive. And I think there is like a lot of like praise to be said if you can run a fast, like 5K, 10K, whatever. But honestly, like it can get intimidating to start, right? Running is always intimidating. It's also very unwelcoming because of the cramps, because of a lot of the issues with breathing. So just run comfortably and run whatever you can, and just I always say like 1% better. If it's the week and you want to run again, like let's say you run one time each week, what can you do 1% better that you didn't do last week? It's not about like running faster. Maybe it's like maybe I want to control my breathing a little more, or do I want to like um focus on how I land on my foot every time I run, every time I take a step. So I would say those are some of the important things that have really helped me develop like a hatred for running into it's almost like a craft.
Wow. That is a deeply philosophical explanation. You know what I mean? Um,
I think yeah, it has to be right. Like anything that you develop into a hobby, it's you get really into the weeds of like how to get better at that hobby. It's interesting.
yeah, I think that um yeah, I did approach it that way when I was younger, like when I was like 17, 18, because motivational story. I was like I've always been bigger, obviously. You know that. Like I don't think no matter how much lifting you do, John, if I do like a little bit, I'll be bigger than you. Like it's just kind of like how my body works. You know what I mean? Like it's just my type of body. You know what I mean? And I was trying to play soccer senior year, and I wasn't like I was a senior, and I wasn't projected to start, and that's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like a senior, you're not gonna you're you're
Yeah.
you're not gonna start. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of lame. So literally, I ran I think 6 days a week like that summer. I was going crazy. I was also fresh off of, like a little breakup or whatever. That's unimportant. I was grinding, and I never like I got to like even on a really controlled setting, I was running really, really fast, like really fast. And I was really happy with it. And I was just dedicated to the grind and everything like that. But I also had the time to deal with the cramping. And I had the time to deal with like, you know, taking all that time out of my day to like all the stretching and all of the everything. Cause I would put in like, there's like a public track down the street from my house. I'd put in like 2 hours over there. You know what I mean? It would be like a little warm up lap, then like 2 miles, and then do some hit work, then do some like hills, and then go home. You know what I mean? And I was like super into it. But that was also because I had a very clear motivation in mind. You need to start. Like you cannot be a lame on the bench. You know what I mean? But now it's just like I'm an accountant. You know what I mean? And like a nice little jog here and there will still go like a long way. But will me, my large body, can I get back to that aquiline frame I used to have? I don't know. And then every time I feel like I'm like doing really well, like something always happens. Like always, And I'm just like, damn it. But you providing that motivation, I've been on a good streak, you know what I'm saying? I've had a good little stretch here. So keep posting those. I really like them.
Appreciate it, man. I will.
Yeah. Um so we kind of answered, yeah, we did that. So we're gonna get to like really the premise, the meat of why we even started talking, like why you really wanted to come on the show. And we're already like an hour in. We're way past an hour in, right? But this is what really, pushed us over the hump to getting you as a guest. Anime. We're talking about anime. and you posted a poll. Was it a week ago now, or a little over a week ago now? And you posted a poll, and you said, like, pick which one's better or whatever, Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen. And I told you my reasoning as to why it was kind of hard for me to choose. But you are very definitive. You have a very definitive answer in your mind.
Yes.
So, John, Demon Slayer, take it away.
Yes. So, yeah, to give you background, like you said, so I put a poll up to see Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen are just two animes that are on the up and coming. They're kind of like everyone knows about it now. It's like in the anime community and more. And I was just curious, like what do people like more? What do people, generally like prefer to watch? Because I've watched both, and that's why I put that out there. And I have another opinion, right? And again, my followers didn't disappoint me on this one, and the majority chose Demon Slayer. And for me, I actually love Demon Slayer and prefer it way more than Jujutsu Kaisen. And the reason being is, I think when you take a look at any anime, especially shonen type of anime, shonen being like that young boy that is growing into something greater and achieves all these powers, fights, all those things like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. There's all types shonen types. And Demon Slayer is similar, and Jujutsu Kaisen is similar in the sense that they're all shonen type. Demon Slayer has a complexity towards it in the fact that you are hit immediately with the motivation as to why Tanjiro is doing what he wants to do. Why is he a Demon Slayer to begin with? It's not like one day he woke up and was like, yeah, I just want to just kill demons. It's literally he's a Demon Slayer because he's trying to find a solution to get his last surviving family member back to a human being. Spoiler alert, it's immediately.
For all anime heads, you are entering a spoiler zone. We're talking about
Exactly.
everything we know. So if you hear a show that you want to watch, you're interested in, and you have not started it yet, I advise you skip ahead because we're not holding back.
Yes. So, like you're immediately hit with like his whole motivation and why Demon Slayer is Demon Slayer. Why is his journey his journey? And I think there's so much power in like, yes, like I am with you, Tanjiro. Like, let us do this together. Let us freaking go. And I love that. And like, you obviously like, it is a little bit slow paced. I'll have to admit, it is a little bit slower paced in the beginning. But oh my gosh, like you watched the Mugen Train movie, right?
Of course I did.
It's oh gosh, like if I rewatched Demon Slayer, by the way, to prepare myself for the Mugen Train, and I was like, dude, he like is so strong. Like even now, even though he's not the strongest Demon Slayer, he is just so much better like than he is in the beginning of the season. And it's like he's not even doing that to be strong for the sake of being strong, right? He's doing that because he has a goal. He wants to protect the people he loves. He wants to turn and find a solution to turn Nezuko back into a human being. And it's like I love that. And that's like why I prefer. I guess the fight scenes and the fight scenes itself are strong and they are well animated. I think that's where Jujutsu Kaisen takes like a leap ahead of Demon Slayer. The fight scenes I would say in Jujutsu are definitely like very well animated. It's really sick, honestly. Like I have to admit, like it's crazy sick. I love this fight scenes there. So I give that for Jujutsu Kaisen. But Demon Slayer is so well rounded, and so unique to the approach of like how they're taking it, because it's like you're seeing how mortal humans are compared to demons, right? Like you're seeing so many people die very quickly, very easily, and there is maybe a little bit of plot armor, but it's like not like you're seeing people die. And then with Jujutsu Kaisen, I was like, I don't get it. Like what the heck is he doing? Like you were literally, I don't know, for me, and I sound very biased, but like I just felt like I was rushed into how he became like the host, the vessel for that Sukuna.
Sukuna,
like that big sorcerer guy that's like the main evil force. And I was like, I don't I don't know if I care if he became bad in this world. Like I don't that's how I felt. Like if he were to completely turn evil, be overtaken by this force and that force would destroy the whole like Jujutsu Kaisen universe, I have zero attachment to this universe that I don't necessarily I kind of want to see that happen too. You know, like that's how I felt. And like I get and so I watched the whole I guess whatever the whole first season that came out and I was like, it is good. There are spots of it that I appreciate um like when they're facing the other school in exhibitions and the comedy like the comedic relief parts are definitely really good. But I would say like the story building and the connection that you're developing with these characters aren't as strong. Like Itadori is a great fighter, and that's all I'm really getting from that. He's not particularly memorable in a lot of ways from me. Um, it's and then I would say like I feel like people like it because the characters are also really attractive. If that makes sense, like a lot of like Gojo will steal your girl like easy.
And your
Um,
man.
yeah, yeah, he'll steal your spouse. Like that's who he is, and it's like I get the physical like appeal, I guess, physical quotation marks, right? Like appeal of the characters, but I don't know. Like I don't feel like that attached to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm. That's a very well-rounded review. Um, I can see the same. So, like, let's just lay the groundwork here. I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen fresh off of watching Attack on Titan, right? And they're so different. Like, there is nothing depressing about Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just fun. And I think that's kind of like why I like it. I liked it so much at that time. It was so refreshing because it's like just punching. Like, show up, punch. Why is he a demon? Like, why is he superpowered? Doesn't really matter. He punches things, right? And and I think one of the things that shonen don't do so well, or I mean, how about this? They don't do it that often. Is they kind of dangle the idea of someone being really strong right in front of you, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't show it to you until like later on. Jujutsu Kaisen throws that way out of the window. They're like, here's the strongest character in the show. He is
Okay,
now. You go for it.
I was gonna say, like, tell me then the difference. Like, so, like, I don't know if you watched it, but One Punch Man, right?
Yeah,
One
yeah.
Punch Man is like
Oh
to
yeah,
me that this definition of like you're literally seeing the most single dominant force in the whole universe there in Saitama. You know what I'm saying? Like
of course, of
I don't know
course.
what made I was like, what? I get your point. I see it, but I was like, it's so frustrating. I guess for me to think like, what makes it special?
I guess what I mean is like, I'm not saying that um Itadori is. I'm saying Gojo is. Like they're like, hey, here you go. Here's an example
Oh,
of
for
what
sure. Yeah.
how good someone can be and how far away this guy is. Because even in Demon Slayer, Giyu's really good, but he's still not the best one. Like
Yeah.
he still has a lot to
Yeah.
learn in that aspect. So you're still kind of like warming up to the idea of what strength is. You don't know what his name's Muzin, right? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like he looks like Michael Jackson, right? But
Yeah.
like you understand he's the strongest one, but you don't really know why yet. You just saw the aftermath of what happened versus like what is it, like episode 8? You get a whole Gojo exposition of, oh, by the way, he's fighting Jogo, the dude with the volcano head. Here's watch him destroy him. Like it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm like, whoa.
It's hilarious. Yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was I thought that was no that was definitely a great fight because I also thought it was hilarious that like in the middle of a fight he brings up Itadori
Yeah.
for a freaking lesson on how to beat somebody or like just like what this guy is doing wrong. But like he's like still in the middle of a fight. Like Gojo is
Right.
like what the F?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, those are the pros. Is there a story for Jujutsu Kaisen right now? Not really. Like, it's a dude in high school, you know? Like I get that. I've seen some good points. Like I like that. Like one of the things that some people have brought up is I like that they don't Naruto love triangle us with the two men and the one girl dynamic. Like they don't do that to us, which is pretty cool. Like they're all just like together. and they hang out together and they fight together, but they don't like hamstring like the girl into being like a useless character like they did for Sakura for literally 200 straight episodes. You know what I mean? Like they don't do
Oh
that to
yeah.
us. Um, and for reference sake, I am 24 years old and I have not even gotten to Shippuden in Naruto. Like I literally stopped watching Naruto at like 136 or something because it's just so slow. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna finish it. It's just so slow because we started watching Attack on Titan, and then we started watching Demon Slayer, and then we started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and those are
Yeah.
all more interesting. You know what I mean? They're just more interesting at the moment. Because Naruto is like 600 episodes long. But and Sakura is just useless. So that's what I mean. But Demon Slayer, I would agree. It's just so much more complete. Like everything about it. I understand the fights are, they're okay in the beginning, right?
For sure. Yeah,
In
it's
the
not like
beginning,
anything
they're okay.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful show. Like totally. Just like
Yeah.
the passions of each of the characters, their reasonings, the way they're drawn. If you read the manga and then watch the show, you're like, whoa, I didn't even realize they look like that. Like how
Yo,
good
that's
they
how
end
I
up looking.
felt. Oh my gosh, dude. Like I was like, when you read it in the manga, it's shocking in the sense of like, okay, like, oh, this is how the story progresses. But when you see in the anime, like how it's animated, it's
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's like the voice acting, the music, the colors, it's crazy. It's an experience.
Like I haven't finished reading the manga yet, like at all. Like I just made
Hmm.
it to where they're in the entertainment district. Like
Yes.
that's where I am
Okay.
right now. And
Yep.
like my girlfriend, she was for those who do know Demon Slayer, my girlfriend, she was Nezuko for Halloween because she loves Demon Slayer. She loves Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And I was so impatient for the movie. I wanted that movie so badly that she like read all the manga and then she handed me her phone and then I started reading it and knew what happened in the movie. I knew everything that was going to happen and it was still so beautiful. Like I've like it was like when they showed what Tanjiro's like core looked like in the little things that were walking that guy along. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like I knew it would be like really wholesome because of the way they drew it in like the manga, but like seeing how it looked, like when he described it as like I just feel warm inside. Like I just feel warmth all around me. I'm like, I feel that right now too. And I'm in a movie theater. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I shed a small tear at the end of the movie,
Dog.
and I was emotionally like devastated and sort of enlightened and thrilled about what could happen next. Like I read the manga too, and like I know what's gonna happen, but even still, like I was like, the movie itself blew my mind of like
Oh
what would
yeah.
happen. But then just the added fact of like, like I said, like the whole ambiance of the coloring, that voice acting, that music just amplifies whatever you read into like this whole world. And dude, I'm excited. And like the movie, yeah, I'll say this. I don't want to tell too much because even though it's been out for a little bit, you just gotta watch it. And I think you just gotta like understand that it's never going to like Demon Slayer itself is like going to be the story more than the fight, right? Like it's literally you're following a story. You're following a whole journey. And there's fighting along it, but it's not the main thing.
I mean, everything about Rengoku I think
Oh,
should tell you why you
oh,
should watch Demon Slayer. Just him. He could be the entire reason you watch this like the show. Because everything
and
about him is just so
oh,
good.
man, man,
Okay, and
man.
I will say
I'm
this.
speechless.
Like, yeah. And the thing that was so crazy is like even there like, I would say definitively of all the shows I've watched,
Yeah.
uh like Jujutsu Kaisen probably does fights near the best of all the ones I've
Mm-hmm.
watched. Like Demon Slayer, when Demon Slayer peaks in terms of like especially that fight in at the end of the movie, that
Yeah.
was like on Jujutsu Kaisen level of fight, of like how they
Oh
drew
yeah.
it and like the pace of it versus like I understand that Naruto will have good fights, but I'm still so jaded by that scene really early on where it was that dude with the giant sword in the like the land of the
Zabuza.
and like that
Yeah.
they just stared at each other for 15 consecutive episodes. I'm like, this is horrible, right? And Sakura, 45% of her words are Sasuke. I'm dead serious. Like that has to be the number. It has to be, right? But that My Hero has some really good fights. Like in the interim, they're okay. But when My
Hmm.
Hero hits its like stride, they're up there. All the All Might fights are like
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh
United
yeah.
States is, oh my god, I was
Oh yeah.
screaming.
You're
I was
screaming.
screaming.
Yes, you're screaming.
I was
You're
like,
like,
"Oh my god,
ah! Yes.
I've never been more proud to be American than that moment." Like that was the peak of it. I was like, I'm going to enlist in whatever like armed forces I need to so I can have that power. Like that was a crazy moment.
Oh my gosh.
Um that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But just Akaza, that was crazy. Like everything Akaza did
Yeah.
was so fluid. His arms kept growing back, which was super frustrating.
Dude. And you know what's crazy too? Like I don't think like and this is just from sort of my own interpretation of Akaza as a character. And by the way, Akaza, for listeners to just kind of want to give them context, he's like the upper third moon in the
He's a real bad
Demon
dude.
Slayer. Yeah, he's a really strong bad dude. I don't think his intentions were to actually kill. I think his intentions were again like you saw he prefaced the fight like about how he just knew Rengoku was strong and wanted him to turn to a demon, right? Like
Yeah.
that's all he wanted because he wanted to have the bond of fighting a strong opponent for the rest of his life. And I think Akaza didn't like have that. He didn't try to do anything like to. I don't want to say like kill because like he's sort of like all of his moves are deadly, but he definitely wanted to force the hand of Rengoku to be a demon, which in a way is like it's interesting because like then I don't think he's so much ill intent as a antagonist as much as he's like almost wants his own thing. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't think like when you think about like the main bad guys, their whole point is just to kill, 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 kill,
Right.
take over the world. But like he was like, yeah, I just want a sparring partner that is strong enough to keep up with me for the rest of eternity and get stronger with me.
Hmm.
So definitely, he's a good, interesting bad guy.
Yes. Now to wrap this, would you, if you had to do it, if you can do it in tiers or you can do it like just
Yeah.
straight numbers, your favorite anime or best anime you've ever watched?
Oh, oh
Because you've watched a lot more than me.
yes, I have.
I listed, right, so you could see it, how many I've watched. You know what I mean? Like I started watching
Yeah.
anime technically with like Beyblade and then like Pokemon and Bakugan. So like literally the children friendly ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But like I like to give you some scale. I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter, which was like my first real one. I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter until I was a pre-junior.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would say Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, that's probably like within my top five. I love Hunter x Hunter. It's great. It's freaking amazing. And that's actually like a top moment of mine too. One of the moments in Hunter x Hunter is when Gon like he sees like he's facing off P2 like the cat
The cat.
Chimera ant
Yeah.
and like he just goes berserk mode.
Adult gone.
Turn dude, that chills,
It was
chills.
crazy.
But yeah, in terms of like, oh gosh. So if we're talking about my favorite. So I'd say in overall, I think what has been like something of I'd say my top three, and they're not in any particular order. So don't take this as like the
Yeah.
first one on the list as the best. Um, it's not so much action as much of like it's a very interesting story. It's called Re:Zero.
I've heard of
So
it.
Re:Zero, I would definitely watch it. It's the second season is a little bit confusing, so I don't know if I liked it as much, but the first season is great. It's basically about this guy, Subaru. He's transported into this fantasy world. He doesn't even know how he's transported, but the basis of the whole story is he's trying to help out like this household, this princess, and he keeps on dying. But like every time he dies, he just goes back to a point in time, like almost like like a save point,
Mhm.
and then restarts with how much knowledge he figured out then to kind of change the trajectory of how his next steps are going to be. So it's a great story. First season is great. Second season is a little sus, but definitely recommend it. Um, this one I think is a little bit of an underdog, like a dark horse that I think you need to definitely. It's not like action. Again, this is not action, which is surprising, but Haikyuu. The
Yeah, the
Haikyuu.
the volleyball one, right?
Yes. Have you watched it?
No, not yet.
Oh gosh. Okay. Whatever you felt in terms of like that United States of Smash from All Might, you're gonna feel like four of those in Haikyuu, like at least four
Really?
of those. You're gonna feel like you're gonna scream. You're gonna. I screamed like 4 times, 5 times. I was like, my arms were flexing. I was like in like Super Saiyan mode, just like I was so hype about it. Haikyuu is definitely a good one. Um, within the top three, and I would say again like Demon Slayer. So those are kind of rounding my top three. Honorable mention is if you if you care more about action rather than like the actual story, which there are people like that. They just want to watch it for the pure entertainment piece. Like if you watch what's it called Fate Grand Order. Fate Grand Order. It's
Like
one of part of
freight?
Fate.
Oh, fate. Okay.
Yeah, Fate Grand Order. It's part of the Fate series, which if you don't know, it's sort of like all these heroes are fighting against each other for like this, what do you call it, like a cup that gives them like one wish. There's many variations, iterations of it, many different types of series, and they're all different. They don't really like go together, connect that well, or they don't really have that intention, but they're all its own story. But if you watch Fate Grand Order, that the fight scenes, Theo, I'm telling you, if you just want fight scenes, if you like Jujutsu Kaisen's fight scenes, these fight scenes are like 2 times more intense. It's absolutely absurd, and there's a lot of them.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
those are my honorable mentions.
Wow. Not
And
even
and
not even would you wouldn't even put Demon Slayer up there?
I know Demon Slayer is the top three.
Okay.
Yeah, Demon Slayer, Haikyuu, and Hunter x Hunter.
Okay,
Naruto has fell off.
but Re:Zero and Fate Grand Order, you'd throw in like in the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'm saying like Naruto is like I think Theo Naruto is childhood. It's never gonna go away for me,
Uh-huh.
and it's never gonna be in the bad spot in my heart. Like Naruto, the when he was 12, or the Shippuden, where or that's like all about they're just milking out money for the whole series. Like
400
that's why I think
episodes.
Shippuden, dude, it's literally like what 50% filler, 50% background, and like and I was sorry, 50% filler, 25% background, 25% like actual story progression. It sucks, but it's childhood, and there are some great scenes in Naruto. So I
Yeah.
will never be like, it's never a bad spot, but it has fallen off from like my favorite to probably top 10
Yeah.
now.
I mean, that makes sense because like I got in so late. All of these anime, like every single one that's like I listed for you, either started in the pandemic or finished it in the pandemic. Like Ali and I started Hunter x Hunter. Like I watched Hunter x Hunter by myself and loved it. And then I got her in, and we watched it together from like right before the pandemic started, and then we finished it during it. Then we watched My Hero right after that, and then like Amazon Prime has this like option for like $3 a month. You get access to like every Pokemon episode ever. So we watched all of Hoenn, which was really cool.
Mhm.
Just because it was cute, because we were also in the midst of watching Attack on Titan and watching our sanity literally fall off a cliff.
Yeah,
Like,
I
oh
can
my
understand
god.
that.
And then like we watched what else? Like Demon Slayer, I don't think there's anything in life she loves more than Nezuko. Like that's her
Oh.
favorite character because she acts just like Nezuko. Like every time she wants like to be pat on the head, that's literally my girlfriend. Like every single time. Jujutsu Kaisen, yeah, it was good. Like it was easy to follow, I would say. Like you don't have to think much. It's like punch, punch,
Mhm.
punch, punch, punch.
I love
Yeah.
I love Toto, like the big buff
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
is hilarious, bro.
He's
He's
so funny.
hilarious. He's like
Oh, yeah.
my brother. I love him. I love him.
And then we watched Horimiya. It's like a cute little anime. It was really cute. We watched
Yeah.
Horimiya. But we're only watching like we're only watching My Hero like periodically now. You've watched My Hero. She loves Todoroki, she loves Tokoyami. Like those are her two favorite characters.
Mm.
I got her a Todoroki backpack. Momo needs to wear some damn clothes. Like, oh my god, this is a 15-year-old. They have her dressing like
Mhm.
this. I'm like, someone put some clothes on this woman, please.
Mhm.
Like, did you watch the episode that came out like this past weekend? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, please, someone cover this woman, please, somebody. They're all in high school, damn it.
Yeah.
But no, if I had to do like a top three, I just feel like Hunter x Hunter was just so good. Like, I
Mm.
remember I have so many moments where I was going just like absolutely nuts watching it. Like, I was so hyped that like the what was it? There's so many good moments. There's so many. I just can't think of them. Like obviously, like the Gon Pito, that was wild as hell. Like
Dude.
my
Oh,
jaw was on the
yeah.
floor for minutes. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. Especially, I mean, Hunter x Hunter's so old. I'm not spoiling much of anything. When he
Yeah.
kicked her, I was like, bro, oh my god. It was crazy.
Yeah.
When Killua went Godspeed, that was crazy.
Dude.
When
That
he
like whole
yeah.
arc, like the Chimera
The
Ant arc,
Chimera arc was crazy.
bro, like, are you kidding me? Like, crazy, crazy. And there was a 16 in Hunter where I don't know what exactly. It was like some sort of challenge, but Killua like literally went through a guy, took his heart,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
put
Like
his
right at the
heart in a
beginning.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right in the
like
beginning.
so. I was like, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
What a freaking moment, you know?
When it was remember Uvo, like the really big dude, when he went
Yeah.
against the Shadow Beast, that was wild. I'm like, oh man, but then Kurapika took care of that. Also, Ali really loves Kurapika, so we call him Pika, like just for short. We call Kurapika Pika. And then in Attack on Titan, Armin, like little Armin looks like Kurapika. So we also call him Mini Pika, and it's just like this
Oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh.
Uh, but
I
Attack on
love that.
Titan, Hunter x Hunter, and Demon Slayer, they're the ones. Like
Yeah.
I really like My Hero. It's just like kind of cute and stuff, and it has its moments. But I feel like the average episodes are
They're
like
not
legitimately
they're not as
average.
high.
But the
Yeah.
Demon Slayer average episodes are still really good.
I agree. I agree. I think My Hero is there are certain moments within certain arcs that peak really high, and those are
Yeah,
so exciting. But the downs are like they're a little bit on average a little bit more like mellower than the other ones you mentioned. I think Attack on Titan is just like holy shit, it's just crazy.
I think
It can
Attack on
get like
Titan has
very
yeah.
political,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
like crazy.
I think Attack on Titan. I think right now it's my favorite because like it just has. It might be the most complete show I may have ever watched. Like the things that they put in the show in season 1 matters halfway through season 4. I'm
Oh
just like
yeah. Oh yeah.
they don't leave anything untied.
It's
Like they close every single hole they leave. There's not one. There are very few remaining ones that they have, and they're all so minuscule. But all the big ones, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You know, like they do it so well.
it's yeah. I mean, yeah. So I say spoiler, but it's been out. Season 4's been out for a while.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy to think that when like Reiner and like the whole crew, warrior crew, like bursted through the wall in the beginning, which like kind of like sparked the whole like
yeah,
Aaron being who he is and the whole thing. It's like Reiner and like Aaron were like kids.
yeah,
Reiner literally did that as a kid,
yeah,
like and they were so young, and then like they didn't even like there's so much stuff that they didn't even like realize that they were doing, that their actions
mhm.
had effect on like the world, right?
They're
And
literally 10. They were both 10.
yeah, and like
Or it was at least 9 years ago. That's at least like the math. They were
yeah,
like, I'm pretty sure because Aaron's 19 now. He was 10 when it started. So it was at least 9 years ago.
yeah,
Crazy.
it's like in the kind of look that Aaron gives in season 4, like you can tell like every
Oof.
season his eyes have changed in their intensity. And almost it's like there's like
Yeah.
this hopeful intensity you see in season 1, season 2, season 3 when he gets captured and he's like sort of
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
kind of accepting his death and like the imminent end. It's like he and not like loses hope, but just like there's an intensity that's lost, but he still like is himself. And it's season 4, god damn, like his
Yeah.
eyes are merciless, man, like merciless.
I was I'm like, this is a depressing show. Like
It
season
is.
season
It
3
is.
was like the way they tied all of Marley in season 3 and like how everything mattered. It was just so beautiful. And then like when Armin finally saw the ocean for the first time, I was like, man, this show's off to such a like season 4 couldn't be better. Couldn't be. And here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like I'm watching other stuff to make me happy because this show makes me sad.
Oh gosh, you know what's so sad too is like when um when Levi has to kill his whole crew because they got turned into
Yeah,
demons. That was like so sad. I was like, oh, no, but it was so sick too. He just did it.
that was crazy.
Levi is a tragic character in a lot of ways
Yeah,
too. So strong but tragic.
right. Well, that was our anime spiel. That was beautiful. But
Yeah,
on this
love it.
last on our last little note here, something you've been doing for yourself, and I just wanted to, highlight this, and you can talk about it as we, kind of wrap up and stuff. You
Yeah,
have been doing a lot of like, projects. Like you have a YouTube channel, you have like a JJ Sips account, a JJ, I think management page, you had a TikTok, you have a page for your dog, you got all these things going on, and just like talk about how you feel about them, what's like the motivation for some of these things, and just like, how
yeah,
you feel about them.
yeah. No, I'm glad that you brought this point up because it's kind of like where my life has been kind of going in a lot of ways oriented. So, um, I have a dog, so I have an account for my dog, and I like to post. And we it's so fun. It's honestly so fun creating like specialty accounts on Instagram. So, I have a coffee and beer and kind of like a drinks account that I love to share, and I'm so into coffee, so it's like just so cool to be able to share my passion on those pages. Again, my dog, I love my dog. He's my son in a lot of ways, So I love to share that and the consulting page. So this is like where I really want to just emphasize, like, as we finally kind of wrap up this whole thing is like something that has been really, like something that's really grown in me this past pandemic, this whole year is like, I don't know for you, Theo, but like I've been in like Philly, like during this whole pandemic for the most part, like other than just going home to see my parents here and there. And I've like I've been like blessed in a lot of ways that the job that I have is a corporate level job, and I've been able to work from home. And I mean, like you are too. And so there's like so much that I've been blessed with to kind of be not shielded from the pandemic, but just like have some sort of like financial security in my job still. But you realize that not like maybe like 70%, 75% of out the world out there isn't in the same position, right? Like there are still people who need to go into their respective workplaces. And for me, this consulting page, so it's just more of a social media management and like ad management marketing business that I started up. It really began because like it stemmed from me seeing how hard the pandemic hit local small mom and pop shops, right? Like the shop, like we talked about, like the Mama Telly's like food truck, right? That's a perfect example of like something that could have been really like impacted significantly because of COVID, right? They're not being able to cook the food, produce the food, and share the food to the people because of a lot of the regulations that have been put out there. And that takes a hit because if that is their main pillar of financial security and income, well, now that you take that out, like what do they have? And a lot of businesses are like that. And so for me, it stemmed from how can I, as we kind of progress into pre-COVID conditions now, how can I take had to learn a lot of different things, like how to market businesses, how to be able to run ads for businesses on social media pages, and like all those things. Because the main objective is like how do I take businesses that traditionally never really needed social media, but kind of need to now have some sort of social media presence to garner some attention, revamp their whole business. How can I help them, and how can I help our community, our Philadelphia community, grow in a lot of ways? We talked about in the beginning a lot of our favorite spots in Philadelphia, a lot of our favorite things that we like to do, and a lot of the places where they check out. And not that you might have noticed it because you weren't necessarily here, but like a lot of these places took a heavy hit financially, and they're struggling, and they're still trying to figure out how do we make up from some of the lost expenses. And that's kind of the motivation that really stemmed from my heart to wanting to start this business. Is like, where can I take it to the next step and help these businesses out? And whether they're a micro business, like their own, like they only started on Instagram, or they are like a small business, like a restaurant and whatnot, how can I help them establish an online presence where they're able to use part of their budget, whatever monthly budget, to expand and scale and enjoy growth. So that's kind of been on me, and like in this whole journey of learning and wanting to help, I think I've really grown to I'd say it like this. I like learned to personally take time to not just like love myself, but to understand myself a lot more. Understand who I am, understand like my motivation. So that's kind of everything. Um, I do have a lot of passions. I have like a lot of little hobbies. So, um, but yeah, this is like the big thing that I've been trying to push out there. Just trying to help other businesses out. So, thanks for asking, Theo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I saw you on your grind, and I was like, is that another J Joe management post? And I just like that especially because you posted like a story a little while ago, just talking about how you need to branch out and really diversify what you can bring to the table as a person. It's not all about, even in like pandemic notwithstanding, that when work is over, that your own individual progress and growth stop, you know? Uh, Especially as the world opens up and you can do more of the like 2019 normal
Yeah,
stuff. Um,
yeah,
and like I really felt that, like this, like me doing a podcast is like really far away from like what my normal day to day is. It's not even really close. Learning how to, work software like this and designing things and all that. Like none of this is, in my general like field of what I like doing or what I, do to make money. But, I've really resonated with what you were saying. And, I
Yeah.
I know I know your drive and things like that. So I know that you're gonna crush it. And I'm just, excited to see it at the Genesis.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like the fact that you're even like starting a podcast and like wanting to develop this to be just something out of your own passion just shows, right? Like it's not for for a lot of people wanting to do something, like all your listeners wanting to do something. I'd just say do it. Like there's no just don't like people think there's some sort of path. There's almost like people think there's some preconceived path in order to gain a skill or gain something.
Yeah.
But there really isn't. Like there's no
No.
like you when you think about it, like what's step number one? Well, step number one is literally whatever I make the first step in. Like, is it research? Is it establishing like some sort of account? Like what is it? It's literally whatever you make it. But making that first step right is the biggest thing. And I think like that post that you're referring to is like I just want people to understand that like it's not that we aren't like skilled people or like you and me we don't come from like we don't have background in what we do, but it's because we have like an interest, passion, and desire to be good at what we do. That's all it takes, right? Like you didn't come into the world of accounting knowing all that you knew. No one does. Like it's literally so like not intuitive what accounting is a lot of times, in my opinion. It really isn't. And you learned it, and it's like 1% better each day. And I think like literally that's my mindset. I think with everyone who's listening too, I think take the time to if you want to learn a skill, learn the skill. Stop putting it off because I think if you think about it now, it's like you putting it off 1 week turns into a year when that 1 year could have been the biggest year of your whole life, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be 40 hours a week of you grinding. It can be literally 30 minutes every week. Whatever it takes, but you're making that first step. And I think that's why I just want people to do is like whether you want to learn how to golf, which is me, I want to learn how to golf better. Just go to a course and suck tremendously, right? Like learn that you're going to be god awful and you will literally whiff every ball, possibly every ball, but it's okay because you're trying it. But that's the fear. Like we always fear of like failing, but don't be afraid of failing because I think the biggest risk in failing is that if you go out there, do it again, and not have learned from your failures, right? That's the biggest. I think that's my scare is like failing at something and never learning from that. Because once you learn something, it's like that's a W because you can progress in that. So all this to say, like I am inspired by you too, Theo, that you're pursuing something that you are passionate about.
So sweet. But yeah, I mean, I was just really proud to see that. And you know, I'm here for, whatever you got going on. I'm support, what I mean? Like I know if there's like a 0.0% chance I'm probably gonna drink what you're gonna put on your sips page, but I'm still gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't drink beer or coffee. So, I'ma like it though, because I like you. But, I'm proud that you
Yeah,
want to do something, just sometimes you just gotta do it. How did I know how to do a podcast? I really didn't.
exactly.
I really
Like,
did not.
yeah, and I love that you have that spirit, and I think like we really resonated well with each other because we both like give off very similar like ambition and drive and energy and like almost like a good juju, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir. But hey, this was a blast. And I trust me, every time I complete a new anime, I'll tell you when that time
Oh,
comes.
let me
I'll
know. Let
I'll
me
keep you
know.
posted. But man, this was a pleasure. I really had a lot of fun. Any closing remarks before we get on out of here?
Yes. If you ever come, guys, if you ever come to Theo, if you ever come to Philly, please hit me up. Please let me know. I would love to be able to take you to me and T, but to the rest of you guys, Yeah, your dreams, your passions, your wants, whatever you desire, it literally starts with your first step, right? Whatever that may be, take it, take the risk, and just keep on going with it.
Sir.
And yeah, love life, man. Um, yeah, and if you ever come back to Philly and never tell me, man, I'm gonna be really hurt. I'm gonna be really hurt.
Hey, I mean, me and T is very high on that priority. That sounds insane. Like
Yeah.
bond me and a bubble tea place in the same building. That
Oh.
that could make me do a weekend trip. Obviously, there's a little gas
Ooh.
shortage happening right now, so I'm gonna be a little more restrictive. But you know, nah, I mean that sounds great.
Yeah.
But it was a pleasure having you on. I'm glad we got a chance to catch up. I'm glad that we flow so well and everything. I'm glad to
Yeah.
see things are going well for you. But just in general, thank you for tuning in. Really, really glad I got to chop it up with John. He's really one of the realest. And I mean, freshman year to now, a lot of growth has happened. I'm really proud of him. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you all stay safe. I don't care what the CDC says. Please wear a mask. Um, and
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that was wild. But please stay safe, drink some water, and I'll catch you all next time.